smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you guys continue to share the content, comment below. We invite all the curses. We invite all the love, man. We want it all. So make sure you guys are engaged. The content only gets better. Again, Symone Stanley, Laura Brunson, Tone DeShields II, man. There's no vibe better than this. There's no vibe better than this. So listen, I guess we could start with the Kevin Patullo thing, right? Because a lot of people, it's funny. I think we was texting about this, and you saw people jumping out the window saying, "Oh my God, I hate the hire. Why are we doing this? Last time we hired somebody internally, it didn't work. I don't like it." And my whole mindset when I heard it was, y'all don't know two things about the man. All we know is that he was the pass game coordinator, and that was it. He's been Nick's right-hand man since, I think, the Colts or the San Diego days, whatever it may be. But I want to get y'all thoughts on it, right? Symone, we can start with you. When you first saw the Kevin Patullo hire come across the wire, what were your thoughts? What were your feelings?
I liked it. I feel like, one, we're in a position where, not in a negative way like to Kevin, but I mean, we didn't have a whole pick of the litter when it came to offensive coordinators because we were playing football till Valentine's Day. The top guys and, the hottest names, they were already swooped up and hired November, December, January when the other teams was out the question. I feel like it was a good move. I like the fact that we went internal because of the continuity. We always talk about Jalen Hurts not being able to have continuity at the offensive coordinator position. Now you have somebody who's been in the building for a while, knows how to get to the Super Bowl, been on a staff that's made it to the Super Bowl twice, been on a staff that hooped offensively twice in the Super Bowl and won it once. So I'm saying he knows what success looks like. He knows what Jalen Hurts and this team specifically needs to be successful. And he's also seen some negative things happen here as well, meaning he's been taking his notes. I'm going to trust the man and trust the fact that he's been taking his notes. So he knows what doesn't work from our failed experiment. And he knows what works twice from when it worked twice. I get he doesn't have play calling experience. You know what I mean? But I've been hearing that, he's been in those rooms at practices and like scrimmages and stuff. He's designed plays and he's been a part of some of the play design process. So I don't see any reason to be negative. Nick Sirianni has struck gold twice when it came to offensive coordinator. Yes, he has one dud, but I'm going to roll the dice with him with the two golds that he struck him, getting us to the Super Bowl twice with his offensive coordinator decisions. I'm saying the man decision-making has just helped us win a Super Bowl in February. I am not thinking twice about Nick Sirianni. I'm not second-guessing my Super Bowl winning head coach right now.
I agree with everything Symone just said. I looked at it from an array of positives. You know what I mean? This is the closest thing I think that we're going to get to Jalen Hurts having the same coordinator. That's been a thing for 10 years. You know what I mean? This is the closest thing to having the same coordinator that you could possibly get. It's in-house. He knows the process. He knows the coach. He's a Nick Sirianni guy. Nick Sirianni wasn't, the most pleasing decision when we named him, as the head coach. He was talking about flowers and shit, but we went to 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? He went to 2 Super Bowls. He's one of the most winningest active head coaches in the National Football League. I think maybe only Andy Reid might got more wins than him. You know what I mean? So I'm not stressing this one at all, man. He been around. He ain't no new guy. Yeah, he never called plays, but you got to trust what's going on in the building, because what's going on in the building just got you a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. And also, the other thing that, I know we got to talk about every season and what happens new. I know technically we're in a new season, but I don't give a damn if you win 4 games. You just won a bowl. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing I could care less what happens right now. Even though we are locked and loaded and set to repeat, I got faith in him, because how can you really mess this up?
Exactly.
How can you mess this up? Kellen Moore threw all his old tendencies out the window because he got Saquon Barkley. Run the dang ball. You know what I mean? Let your defense play good defense and run the ball. You know, how can you mess this up? Yeah, you could throw your little twists on things, but the basis of this moving forward is to run the ball. We see the formula that works. Run the ball. We're not going to change it to a pass-heavy team because this guy came into the picture. I highly doubt that. You just had a running back that ran for 2 stacks and played every game. Healthy. Run the ball. Easy.
And it just seemed like too many people was so quick to start whining and crying. I'm saying, like, some people just want to come from a negative space. Like, we just won a Super Bowl. Why am I hearing about Brian? Why am I hearing Brian Johnson's name in 2025? It's 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people was just so ready to be so negative. Like, we just won a Super Bowl and y'all are starting some doom and gloom next season over offensive coordinator hire, a guy who's been in the building and seen success with this team. When we talk about continuity for Jalen Hurts, like, it's given they wouldn't have been satisfied regardless. Like, if we hired somebody outside the building, then they would have been like, oh, well, he doesn't know the Eagles culture. We need somebody that knows the culture. We need somebody that knows Jalen Hurts. Like, regardless, they would have just been looking for any way to be mad, sad. Like, they just don't know how to enjoy a high. Like, I hate that for them. Like,
that's the facts.
Yeah, I agree with y'all 100%. You know, y'all both said something real key. Symone, you said something like, he's been here, right? He's seen what worked. He's seen what hasn't worked. He's seen the Shane Steichens. He's seen the Brian Johnsons. He's seen the Kellen Moore, right? He's seen all of that. And then LB, you even took a step further, saying this would be the closest thing that we're going to get to continuity for the quarterback, right? And I think one thing that needs to be noted is when the hiring was announced, I think you saw Lane Johnson excited about the move. I think AJ Brown made note of the move and he was excited as well. I think, but regardless, clearly this is a move that's been greenlit by not just Jeffrey Lurie or Harry Roseman or Nick Sirianni. This move has been greenlit by the veterans, the captains, the people that we trust with this team, right? The guys that actually make an impact on the football field. And also, look, at some point, right, you got to start investing in the people you got on your staff already, right? You got to start building those people out. You got to start you got to start trusting those people with more responsibility. Kevin Patullo's been the passing game coordinator since Jalen Hurts has been here. That's the 2021 season. Well, since Jalen Hurts became a starter, rather, right? Since Nick's been here, Kevin Patullo's been the passing game coordinator. He's somebody that Nick clearly trusts. He's somebody that the organization trusts because remember, here's another thing we got to keep in mind. When things went south in that Brian Johnson era, right? That Brian Johnson moment, Deshaun Desai moment, right? They cleaned house on that entire staff. They fired so many people. They only kept Aaron Moorhead at wide receiver coach, Jeff Stoutland, and other than that, they pretty much let everybody else go. So, and they kept Kevin Patullo. So, the fact that Kevin Patullo made it across the chopping block, he survived all those firings.
Survived the purge.
He survived the purge, Symone. That's a great way to put it. He survived the purge. So when you put it that way, you got to start putting a little bit more respect on his name in terms of his standing within the organization. He wouldn't be in the building if they felt like he couldn't do his job well and if he couldn't put his people in the right position. So I'm rolling with the move again. I'm not going to sit here and overreact to it. You have some people lose their minds about it as if they really know what this man is about. And that kind of that blows my mind, really.
That's a good point too, though. So the guys that survived the purge all, have excellent groups that have developed pretty well. Look at the offensive line at Stoutland. Look at how those guys have developed. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson. It's a lot of all pros, Pro Bowlers on that list. Aaron Moorhead, it goes without saying. AJ Brown didn't get all pro until he came under Aaron Moorhead. Now he got 3 of them things. Now you look at Kevin Patullo. The passing game and Jalen Hurts has got better over the years since Kevin Patullo's been a part of the staff. So Jalen Hurts' anticipation got better. Deep ball got better. Everything about Jalen Hurts throwing the ball, mechanics-wise, everything has took a step up every single year he's been in the National Football League. So Kevin Patullo has grown with Jalen Hurts. So I think this could be a really good match made in heaven. Now, I will say, this is my last thing on this. If it turns out to be a great pairing, offensive coordinator Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, he ain't going to want to leave his man Sirianni. This could be Jalen Hurts' first time to get a true coordinator back-to-back. You know what I mean? He's been there so long.
Exactly. And my thing is, one, Kevin, because everybody want to go on Brian Johnson, right? Brian Johnson barely had any experience, period, coaching. Kevin's been coaching for darn near 20 years at this point.
Right.
Like Kevin has been coaching, so like he's seen so much. Like Brian Johnson was not only not experienced offensive coordinator, he barely had any coaching experience, period. Like it's not the same thing with Kevin Patullo. And also with everybody crying about the Brian Johnson moment, offense was still putting up points with Brian Johnson.
They were still top 10.
The defense was ranked 32.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with the terrible play calling and that offense in what was it, 2023? Yes. The offense kept us in games. The defense was selling out. As long as we got Vic Fangio and we keep the main thing with running the ball, we are going to be fine. Like we don't need a superstar offensive coordinator. We don't need an offensive genius mind. As long as we got stout, this O-line, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and Vic Fangio's army, we going to be good.
I mean, because that's a good point. To my knowledge, I ain't never seen, what's the homie name? Ben Johnson. I ain't never seen him in no bull calling plays. I ain't seen it. You know what I mean? In fact, I seen him in, what was that? The divisional round against the Commanders, throwing the ball with a wide receiver, shit getting picked off. So all of these sexy plays and all of this stuff that everybody like to do, nah, man, we about winning in Philadelphia. Buddy been around winning. Let's keep a winner. Let's promote a winner. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let's promote a winner. I like it.
Absolutely. And my last point, we could definitely move on. I don't know if people will know this, but Patullo was being considered for that OC job with the Saints. Kellen Moore was thinking about bringing him with him because they built up a solid relationship. So when you think about it from that perspective as well, now Kellen obviously went with Doug Nussmeier. That's his guy. He's been rocking with him since, like, wherever Kellen's went, Doug Nussmeier has went. Doug Nussmeier was the quarterback coach for the Eagles, quarterback coach in Los Angeles with the Chargers and also with the Cowboys at one point. But he just took the guy that he knew longer, right? But still, Kevin Patullo wasn't a runner for that job because of the relationship he built up with Kellen Moore. So again, he's somebody that people like. He's somebody that people respect in terms of his football acumen, his football mind. And regardless, let's get the guy a shot, man. With this kind of personnel, you ain't got to overcook it, man. Like, you see the one-on-one, hey, give it to AJ. Hey, see the one-on-one, give it to Smitty. Hey, they trying to load the box. Hey, Saquon don't care about none of that. So, like, this personnel, you ain't got to have a Sean McVay. You ain't got to have a Matt LaFleur. You ain't got to have a Kyle Shanahan to get this thing going. So, I like the hiring, though.
And then one last thing, Jalen. In our most pivotal moments on the offense side of the ball, Jalen Hurts made the call. Bingo. So it's like we got a coach on the field anyway.
Bingo. I like that. That's a good point.